Doc, you gotta help me.
I don't think that's a line. I think that's part of the syndrome. Basically, our part of the drill was to have several pediatric and adult patients sort of come in and not exactly sure what we were measuring, what the metrics were, but we basically had 3 simultaneous patients come in several times and judge, I guess, our responses to those. But they all appeared to be sort of a septic picture, hypotensive, tachycardic, tachypnic, respiratory failure. So it really was the same case over and over, as I imagine we would see with, sort of pandemic flu.
Who's calling? Who's calling? Give me a name.
The name.
Anytime you work in emergency department, you always have to be prepared for any kind of disaster, whether it's a bomb exploding going off, or if it's multiple traffic accidents, and in this case it was actually a viral infection, influenza pandemic, which people have talked about and are expecting in the coming years, so it's always good to be prepared for it. So the idea was to see how our system would respond to such a response, to have so many patients come in with all sorts of different symptoms, and how we would do as a team, how we would organize ourselves. And my specific area, which was the critical care area, is designed where the sickest patients who have the worst effects from the flu come in, and what we were trying to do was to rapidly stabilize these patients, what we do in the emergency room, and get them onto more specialized care upstairs.
All right, respiratory here. Let's give it a minute.
So we were working in the critical area, and this was where we would have the very, very sick people who have not just feeling crappy, but people who had rare, bad symptoms like trouble breathing or other things where they would need a higher level of care. And so we had a lot of people who came in, and pretty much, I think everybody got intubated, which means they were put on a machine to help them breathe, and were sent off to the critical care unit.
You have to pass in quickly. Give you some pressure. Right there. Pass in
The simulators are great. It's definitely more. You get more involved with simulators than you do with the kind of the fake patients or the patients with just something around their neck. You actually have to really get involved. You actually perform procedures on them, so it's definitely more like a real-time experience. So definitely, I think all of us like simulators. It helps us become better physicians.
It's awesome. It's an awesome technology. It really is. It's the best thing that we can get to sort of replicate humans. It's a fantastic teaching tool.
The simulators allow us to do more procedures and to get more comfortable so they're a good thing. But I had difficulty with one simulator, but the next simulator was good. So the simulator, we need more simulator sessions so that we become more comfortable.
also.
Alright, so can we get some IV access to his hypertensive 045 tachycardic?
Not enough staff and not enough nurses, which I think would be completely what we would experience. But then again, I can't imagine the idea where Kings County Hospital would have a time where I was doing 3 critical simultaneous intubations and only 1 nurse around. So I don't know. I mean, it probably replicates real life a little bit, but that's why you drill. I mean, it's to sort of identify the problems, the issues.
Pretty difficult getting nursing to work in that kind of disaster because there's just not enough staffing, especially if you have 3 extremely critically ill patients at the same time. So if we would definitely need to allocate resources. So that would have helped. But from a medical management standpoint, I think that we did okay.
I guess what I think I learned the most is that when you get the patient, just look at the patient in a whole. There was a lot of similar cases, but still, you have to look at the patient in a whole, what their vital signs are, and reassess, especially reassess. We always had to be asking, okay, what are the patient's vitals at this time, after every single thing that you did, to make sure that you're going in the right track, and is there anything else that you need to do?
It definitely went well. It was definitely good for me educationally to see how a disaster would run. Even though you can never say this is exactly how it's going to be, it's definitely good to be prepared for something like that where you're presented with so many patients at the same time.
Definitely a big learning experience, but I think it went well. I think from how we were in the beginning, definitely saw a lot of improvement in the end. So it was a big learning curve. I personally felt a lot more comfortable with the patients after seeing one or two, and so I think it went well, because basically you want people to learn from a drill, and that's what ended up happening.
It was very hectic. Trying to run one intubation is challenging enough. To run 3 simultaneous intubations and be part of the staff actually doing the critical care, to be one of the hands people is, it was very challenging, but it went well. I liked it.